Alessandra, confined to her room by her overbearing father, refuses to join her family for dinner. Tensions escalate as her father demands she come out, insisting on an arranged marriage instead of her intended union with Duke Edgar. Desperate to escape, Alessandra devises a daring plan to climb down a makeshift rope of bedsheets from her window. However, her plan is jeopardized when her loyal maid, Sally, fearing for her own safety, releases the makeshift rope prematurely. Alessandra plummets from the window, the table crashing against the wall in her wake. Will Alessandra survive the fall? What will her father do when he discovers her absence and the destruction in her room? Will she be able to escape her father's clutches and marry Duke Edgar? What consequences will Sally face for her actions?
Alessandra!
Sally yelled as she realized her grave mistake. She looked out the window, hoping Alessandra had not hurt herself. And luckily, Alessandra was still hanging onto the sheets. She had not fallen far enough to hit the ground.
Thank goodness. I'm sorry. I did not want to get into trouble.
And you thought potentially letting me fall to my death would save you? Alessandra glared at Sally. She could have fallen flat on the ground had she not been holding onto the sheets. Alessandra took deep breaths to calm down her breathing. It was partially her fault for thinking Sally wouldn't get scared and try to open the door.
Alessandra!
Desmond exclaimed, entering the room in search of his daughter.
Where is she?
He yelled at Sally as she was the only one in the room. His eyes followed her nervous gaze down to what looked to be a rope in her hands.
Alessandra!
He ran to the window, realizing what his daughter had done. Desmond shoved Sally to the side to get a good look out the window. This action caused Sally to release the sheets the moment she was pushed.
Alessandra, do not run away from me. James?
He turned to the butler, who had been the one to open Alessandra's door with the keys he carried around.
Stop her from leaving. Yes, Baron.
James left the room in a hurry to search for Alessandra.
You useless fool.
Desmond raised his hand to slap Sally, but held himself back, since getting Alessandra was more important. Rowan was already here to collect Alessandra, and if she were to escape, Rowan would kill him on sight.
I'll deal with you later.
He gritted his teeth, leaving to find Alessandra. Meanwhile, Alessandra sat up from the ground after she made the decision to slide down the sheets, not caring if she might fall. Inevitably, she ended up colliding into a branch from the tree right outside her window, injuring her arm as she crashed against it when the sheets began to swing her around as she slid down. As fear took over her body, Alessandra was unaware of the pain in her arm or the pain coming from stepping on fallen twigs and rocks as she was barefoot. Her mask slipped off from her face, but like everything else, Alessandra paid no attention to it. Alessandra began to run towards the gates, as it would be her way of escaping her father. Alessandra resembled a ghost running in the night, as her dark hair and white dress blew around in the cold air. She never once looked back to see if there was anyone running after her. Alessandra only had her eyes set on the gate.
My lady, please stop running.
James called out to her from the front door when he spotted her running from the right side of the home towards the gates. Alessandra began to slow down when she stumbled across an unfamiliar carriage blocking her path to go towards the gates. She ran to her right to avoid whoever was in the carriage, since it might be the person her father wanted to marry her off to.
Alessandra!
Her father's yelling could be heard not too far behind her. Alessandra picked up her pace, but the moment she passed by the other side of the carriage, she laid eyes on a man twirling a dagger around his fingers. He smiled when he looked up and saw her running past him.
Alessandra's escape was short-lived. The man with the dagger, a chilling figure in the deepening twilight, blocked her path. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through her. Was this the end? Was this what freedom tasted like? A chilling confrontation with a stranger wielding a deadly weapon? Or was this a new beginning, a twist in her fate beyond anything she could have imagined? Who is this mysterious man with the dagger? Is he a friend or foe? Will Alessandra be captured and forced back into her gilded cage?
Hey, I'm Alessandra. If you're wondering what happens next, download the Pocket FM app now and listen to the exciting episodes of The Duke's Masked Bride.